plus 6 is equal to 0. Now this is called the general form. Most books call it general form. So we're going to call this the general form. Okay, let me bring it down just a little bit. Notice it's not in standard form. If it's in standard form, it's nice and easy to find the center, find the radius. So we're going to have to transform this general form into a standard form. The general form equation is ax squared plus by squared plus cx plus dy plus e is equal to 0. It looks really complicated. It's not that complicated though. You got a squared term with the a, squared term with the b, and you have a constant term with a linear term with the x and y, and you have a constant term, okay, with e. Something to note about a and b for circles: a must equal b. If a equals b in the general form, it turns into a circle. If it doesn't equal it, it's probably going to be an ellipse or a hyperbola. Notice there are two squares on the x and y squared. So how do we change this general form into standard form? We have to learn to complete the square. I know you've done it in Algebra 2 a little bit. We'll do it a little bit more in detail. First thing you want to do is move the constant term to the right side. So you end up with x squared minus 6x plus y squared minus 2y is equal to negative 6. Then we want to regroup the x's and the y's, and you want to complete the squares. It's already grouped together with the x's and the y's. Notice that the a and b are constant, are equal. The leading coefficient of the x term and the leading coefficient of the y term is 1, so they are equal. So that we know that they are a circle. Here's the way I like to complete the square on this one. X squared minus 6x plus something plus y squared minus 2y plus something equals negative 6 plus something plus something. I like to, for my students, to write down plus something on the right side as well, so that they don't forget to add it to the right side and the left side. In this equation, you look at the linear term. You take the negative 6, always divided by 2, and then square it. So that becomes, I'm going to use a different color marker for this. So negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 3. Square it becomes plus 9. I'm going to have to add to the right side 9 as well. The equations are balanced. Let me try to find another marker for this. No, I'm going to have to use a different marker. Let's use blue or red. Let's use red. For this equation right here, for this term, we take the negative 2 divided by 2, and we square it. Negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. Square it becomes plus 1. I'm going to add 1 to the right side. Now we have to factor this. This is the first thing you do when you factor it. You drop the x without the square. You drop the minus. If it's a plus, you change to a plus. Half of 6 is 3. That's it. X minus 3 quantity squared plus y minus 1 quantity squared is equal to, you have to evaluate the right side of the equation. 9 minus 6 is 3, plus 1 is 4. We have it in standard form now. The center of the circle, all we need is two things to find the graph or sketch the circle. It's the center, which is at 3, 1. It's the opposite of the inside, and the radius equals square root of 4, because it's r squared right over here, which is equal to 2. So we find 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, up 1. There's your center. It goes to the right 2 units, up 2 units, left 2 units, and then down 2 units. I like to plot those 4 points first, and then it becomes its tangent to it, so that's what it looks like. Okay. Don't forget, if it's in general form, you must change it into a standard form before you actually start drawing or sketch the circle itself. Okay. Example number 3. It says, find the y, x and y intercepts. Let me put this up really nice and neat. Example 3, find the x and y intercepts of the graph of the circle given by this equation right here. You can draw it if you want, try to see what it looks like. It might be helpful too. We're going to use our intuition a little bit too as well. First thing we need to do is find the center point. CP is opposite of -4 is 4, opposite of -2 is 2. That's your center point. Your radius is equal to the square root of that. R squared is equal to 16. The radius is 4. Starting at 4, 2, it goes to the right 4, goes to the left 4, up 4, and then down 4. And I'm going to use a little bit different marker for this, make it nice and thick. And there's your center point right over here. Okay. So how do you find the x and y intercepts for these? To find x-intercept, always set y equal to 0 and solve for x. Right? To find the x-intercept again, always set the y value equal to 0 and solve for x. So I'm going to set this equal to 0. X minus 4 squared plus 0 minus 2 squared is equal to 16. Square that, you end up with 4. So x minus 4 quantity squared is equal to, that becomes 4. I'm going to move it to the right side. It's going to be minus 4 to both sides. It's going to be 12. At this stage, you can actually try to square both sides, FOIL this out, the x minus 4 term equals 12, and then try to regroup them. There's a little trick that you can do to solve this quite easily. Take the left side and the right side, these cancel. You end up with x minus 4 is equal to square root of 12. Don't forget, when you square root both sides, you have to put plus or minus, okay? This is one of those little things that most students forget to do, alright? So don't forget to put the plus or minus 12. Square root of 12 is equal to, if you simplify that, it's going to be square root of 4 times square root of 3, which is going to be 2 radical 3. So x minus 4 is equal to 2 radical 3 plus or minus. We're going to add 4 to both sides. X is equal to 4 plus 2 radical 3, or x is equal to 4 minus 2 radical 3. If they want in coordinate form, it's going to be 4 plus 2 radical 3 comma 0. You notice that we put 0 right there because we set the y value equal to 0. And we're going to go 4 minus 2 radical 3 comma 0. I'm going to use my calculator. My calculator's on the other side. Be right back. So let's work it out on a calculator right over here. 4 plus 2 radical 3. I don't know if you can see that or not. There it is right there. It's going to be 7.5 approximately. So this is approximately 7.5. We're also going to do this with minus instead. And we get 0.50. That's going to be approximately 0.5. So you notice where it crosses the x-intercept right over here, it's about 7.5, very close to it. And of course this is going to be about 0.5, 1/2 from 0 to 1. Okay, so that worked out pretty good. We have to find the y-intercept of this. I'm going to use a back paper, one of these back papers. Which one should I use? Okay, let's use this paper right here. So to find the x-intercept, always set y equal to 0. So to find the y-intercept, we always set x equal to 0. So here's the equation. 0 minus 4 squared plus y minus 2 20 squared is equal to 16. 0 minus 4 is negative 4 squared. That is going to be 16 plus y minus 2 20 squared is equal to 16. We subtract 16 to both sides. Y minus 2 20 squared is equal to 0. Now how do we solve for y minus 2? We square root both sides. Y minus 2 is equal to, square root of 0 is 0. It's actually a plus or minus 0 is still 0, so it really doesn't matter. Okay, did you get that? Square root of 0 is equal to 0. Plus or minus 0 is equal to still 0, basically, right guys? So we add 2. So it's going to be y is equal to 2. A little bit of note, if you want to put in xy coordinate, it's going to be 0 in your x, your y value is going to be 2. Okay. And let's see what happens here. Oh, it went through 0, 2. According to this graph right here, it should hit it right here at that point. It does at the y-intercept of 2. Good luck, and work on some of these problems. They'll help you quite a bit in terms of trying to figure out how to write the equation, give in general form, standard form, also sketching the graphs as well. Take care. Bye.